Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960. Well, Valentine's Day is in 2 days, and so I thought I'd want to check in with some local favorite performers of mine who I think are the cutest couple in all of Mississauga. So I think it'd be completely appropriate for sort of my Valentine's Day show to introduce you to River North. River North is a Mississauga-based duo comprised of award-winning musicians, Matt Zaddy and Heather Christine. Together, these artists are partners in music and in life. And we're going to hear a song that Heather actually sang to Matt on their wedding day. How appropriate about not only love, but love and marriage. And I think I'm looking forward to that. River North combines soulful acoustic guitar and moving vocal harmonies to create a smooth mix of original and popular music. River North has been featured on CBC Radio 2 and has toured Ontario and the East Coast of Canada. Together with Arlene Bakulin and the Identity Crisis, they also composed We Are the North, Mississauga's official summer anthem, Canada's 150th song for 2017. And I think we might be able to hear that later on in the show as well. River North's debut single, This Too Shall Pass, we've all felt that, was written about their experience living through COVID-19 as a collaborative project with Heather Christine's parents. This Too Shall Pass is now available on all platforms. And I think we're going to hear a little bit of that one too. So it's going to be a great session. But we're also going to talk about Matt and Heather's career and about their love, appropriately so for Valentine's Day. So Matt, Heather, how are you?
We're doing well, thank you. How you doing, Brian?
Very well. So just tell us a little bit about how you guys met and how you became number one, partners in music, and number two, partners in love.
Sure. Well, originally when we met, I got a call from a friend of Heather's, said, "Hey, I know these two girls that are looking for a guitar player for their band." And this time I was playing in a heavy metal band, and I just happened to be home at the time from tour. So I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I called up Heather, and she was very enthusiastic about me coming out. So I met with her and her friend Julia for their band at the time, Gypsy Kittens, and I think this was in 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a fun girl band, and we sang all kinds of different like world music. And Julia Uhas is an amazing professional singer, songwriter, actor. Singer, actor, dancer. She's performed at the Stratford Festival and many of the big shows in Toronto and across Canada. So we were doing this project, and I remember he walked in, and I was like, "Who's that handsome man?" But we both were involved with different people at that time. Mm-hmm. So then about a year later, we both were single, and a couple set us up on a blind date kind of thing. But I walked in and I was like, I know you.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, hey, Heather, this was unexpected." And then I think it was 2013. I got a call from Heather. She asked me if I would accompany her at the art gallery in Mississauga for a memorial for their director. So we performed together for that, and then over the next few months we were in touch a little bit more. And Heather gave me a call in May and said, "Hey, do you want to be my date to the Martys?" And little did I know it was a ticket selling pitch.
Oh.
So here I am going to the Martys thinking I'm her date. And then I think Carla Gonzalez, she must have whispered something in her ear, because we began dating shortly after that.
Yeah.
But why was it a ticket selling? Because you ended up being at the front desk selling tickets, or what?
He kind of has been saying to me for a long time, like, let's go on a date, but we never really did. So then I just thought, hey, I had to sell these tickets, and I was, single at that time. So I just said, hey, you want to be my date? Let's go. So then it worked out. So we're always grateful to the Mississauga Arts Council for bringing us together.
Well, I met you, Heather, because of the Mississauga Arts Council. You were the youth coordinator and the communications person for the Mississauga Arts Council when I was on the board of the Arts Council. And so it was a pleasure. And I met Matt, I think, in a local bar in Streetsville where you were doing open mics. And the two of you have always really impressed me, both with your vitality, your musical talent, and your great personalities and how well you connect. And actually, it's interesting that you said you were in a heavy metal band, because you've got a little bit of that sort of edge to you, don't you, Matt?
Sure. It's so funny. Like, I've played in very, very different genres, and prior to doing music, I was as a full-time thing, I was also in another very different line of work. So people who saw me on any one of those three fronts had a hard time believing I was doing one or the other. It's actually hilarious. I look way more metal now than I did when I was playing it.
So in 2 days is Valentine's Day. What's your favorite love song?
Ooh, Heather, what's yours?
Oh my gosh, that's a tricky one. I would say probably like Marvin Gaye, a Marvin Gaye song. But he has so many great ones that I can't pinpoint. But maybe even the Beatles. To lead a better life, I need my love to be
She just
here.
stole mine. My favorite is Here, There, and Everywhere by the Beatles.
We're chatting with Matt Zaddy and Heather Christine, the duo that are River North. We're going to take a break and come back more with them, and we're going to hear some of their music. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour. We're chatting as part of our sort of a special pre-Valentine's Day radio show with Matt Zaddy and Heather Christine, who together are River North, a Mississauga-based duo. And we've been talking a little bit about love, and we're going to talk a little bit more about love. And I think Heather Christine's going to sing us a song that she sang to Matt on their wedding day, which I think will be very special. But now what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about COVID, because they actually have issued a single about their experience with COVID. So guys, how have you been dealing with lockdowns?
Well, as best we can. I think everybody kind of deals with this kind of stress differently. Like, we're both performing musicians, and that's a good chunk of our livelihood. So, needless to say, that it hit us hard with the pandemic. Thankfully, I was able to transition into doing more teaching and virtual performances, so it worked out. Heather as well.
Yeah.
I think for us, or for myself, I don't want to speak for Heather on this. I think for myself, establishing a good routine that has exercise, because I'm not getting out of the house nearly as much as I used to. Making sure I'm eating well, and making sure to have time off, which I'm usually pretty bad at, but Heather's good about making sure that I don't just work morning, noon, and night, because that's not good for anybody either.
But I think a lot of artists have really been hurt because
Oh yeah.
of the opportunity to do gigs has gone away.
It's brutal. Like, considering it was such a big part of our livelihood, we're a double artist family. It was really, really, it's been brutal. Like, I think we're going to look back at this when we're older and be really proud of ourselves, because we stayed really motivated. And I think we had each other to help as we coped with this. And even Matt was very, very good with the technology right off the bat. So because he was doing live streamings before even COVID hit, like I think right when it started, he started doing some live open mics, and then the Rose Theatre in Brampton saw that and then hired us to do a live St. Patrick's Day show. So then after that, different presenters started seeing that we were adapting and evolving, and that brought us different sources of income and different performing opportunities. So that has been the key thing for our artistic survival, has been evolving and adapting to the technology. So definitely I see that there are opportunities coming, but it's really important as artists that we are evolving and learning these new skills.
Do you think most artists have been able to adapt, or has it been a big struggle?
I think it for myself, I've always hired out for a lot of the things that I've been doing myself from home. Like, I never did any work on video previously at all. So it was one of those things where I said, well, I better figure this out if I'm not going to be able to work with anyone. Plus, it's difficult to hire on other people when your main source of income disappears. So we basically we figured it out. I took some online tutorials and courses, spent a lot of time in Zoom, and because I've been using it for a weekly open mic and as my main interface for teaching, I've been able to figure. That's my primary, I guess, video conference and performance platform that I've been using is that. And then we've learned how to, obviously, to hook it up to Facebook and YouTube and various things. And we've tried out a few other ones as well.
Yes.
But essentially, it was, if you didn't adapt, it's been really hard. And we adapted early, and people saw that we were doing this, and because of that, we had more opportunities to work during this. Like,
Absolutely.
we've been doing some pre-recorded concerts for seniors and for other things as well. We've done a lot of work. Sorry, Heather, go ahead.
We should mention as well that we are encouraging other artists to get on with the digital platforms. And I'm so pleased to be working with the Arts Council to be hosting a monthly live open mic called our Arts Cafe, which is happening next one. It's February 22nd. And we are so, so excited and honored to have an amazing, legendary artist who's going to be mentoring us. We have amazing from Jazz FM. We have Bill King, who was once the music director for Janis Joplin, for the Pointer Sisters, for Ron Statt, and he's also recorded with
Stan Rogers.
Stan Rogers. So he's going to be coming on the show and actually talking about how he's adapting and publishing and doing different creative things to help with his source of income and kind of mentoring us artists during that. So we encourage any artists out there, if you haven't done it and you want to just put your foot in the water and feel how it is, we encourage you to perform with us, and you can sign up at the MississaugaArtsCouncil.com.
Yeah, we've been trying to encourage other artists to get out and get used to this technology because, it's one of those things that nobody knows exactly how long this is going to last. And the more adaptable that everyone can be to being online, the more likely they are to be able to get more work during this time. Like for me, I never expected to be learning how to use video editing software and HD cameras, but lights, microphones, HD camera, go team.
I think I've also a lot of people have found it as an opportunity to be creative and take some time off and do some things from a creative standpoint that they may not have always had the time to do because of their typical busy schedule. Have you guys found that?
Absolutely. I've been playing a lot of piano and guitar, and I've been teaching a lot of voice online to different children and adults and seniors. So that never would have happened if I was just normally in my busy performance routine and doing what other things I was doing. I never would have done that. So now I'm like totally playing piano again and really enjoying that. So I'm really grateful for that.
And you've written a song specifically about COVID, I understand?
Yes.
Yeah, about Heather's. We were, I guess this was pretty early on, within the first 2 or 3 months. Heather's parents sent her a poem that they had written, specifically talking about their experiences in lockdown.
Just feeling isolated, and my father has recently retired. Before that, he was a busy lawyer, so now he's enjoying writing during this time, but he put his emotions into this beautiful piece of poetry that my mother and him wrote together, and it was about 3 pages long. And my dad kind of challenged us and said, you kids should write a song about this. So he gave us the song, and we wrote a tune, and it was so cool to collaborate with my parents and do that. It was kind of special. So we released the song. Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called This Too Shall Pass.
Yeah.
And you've got a video that you're going to be able to play for us about it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Fantastic. This too shall pass.
So many ways that I've been feeling. Each day drifts into the next, wondering if there's gonna be an answer. A part of me is hoping for the best, and this too I know shall pass. The skies will clear, we're safe at last. My heart, it knows that this can't last. Never gonna give up, oh, never gonna give up. Lost at sea, it feels as though we're drifting, searching for a light to guide the way. And all I can see is hope, but that is waning. Pushing through as night turns into day. And this too I know shall pass. The skies will clear, we're safe at last. My heart, it knows that this can't last. Never gonna give up, oh, never gonna give up.
My heart, it knows that this can't last. Never gonna give up. Oh, never gonna give up. Never gonna give up. Oh, 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 that this can't last. Never gonna give up. Oh, never gonna give up.
Okay,
That was fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brian.
What a wonderful song, and perfectly appropriate for this this time period, and very inspirational because I think it will pass.
It will pass.
definitely.
I don't know if you've heard this story about this country and western singer that was found by Jimmy Fallon, and the song was "Go Down Swinging," but it was a similar kind of inspirational song about if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down swinging. And he was found by Jimmy Fallon. He was going to quit, and now he's a star. So someone's going to hear this song, and you guys are going to be stars because it's the perfect inspirational song for this time.
Oh,
Well,
thanks
thank
so
you.
much, Brian.
We're going to take a break and come back more, and we're going to talk in the second segment with Matt Zaddy and Heather Christine about love. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour. We've got a special sort of pre-Valentine's Day show tonight with Matt Zaddy, not Zaddy. I've been corrected. It's Zaddy like daddy. And Heather Christine. I know Heather Christine from the Mississauga Arts Council. I had the honor of being the president of the Mississauga Arts Council, and she was the dynamo youth coordinator and communications person. And Matt, I've heard perform on numerous occasions at open mics around the city and in other events. And I think the two of them separately were wonderful, and then they got together both musically and romantically. And I think that because of that, it was kind of fun for me to invite them to share a little bit about their love story with us tonight. So you've told us a little bit about, but where was the first date?
I mean, you could call the Mississauga Arts Awards the first date.
Because after the show, we went out with Sandra, who was also Sandra China, who was our awesome membership coordinator at that time, and her boyfriend Win. And we all went downtown to drop them off, and we had some nice sushi, and it was kind of a fun time. And you know, I remember sitting in the car, we were listening to some Kurt Elling, Matt's favorite jazz singer, and thinking, who's this? This is someone interesting.
Yeah. If we want to count the day after that, it would be the Royal Botanical Gardens in Burlington.
And what did you do at the Royal Botanical Gardens?
We had a picnic.
Yeah, we had a picnic.
How romantic. Who made the picnic?
I think it was mutual, actually.
Yeah, I think we each brought some stuff with us. Yeah.
And the tulips were all in blossom, so that was really nice.
Yeah, there's this hilarious photo that Heather took. It's just hilarious to me because it's nostalgic. But when I look at it, I was like, man, do I look young then? Because it was pre-beard.
When was the first time the two of you sang a love song on stage together?
Oh, wow.
Well,
Probably.
I think it actually would have been that July, because it was the very first time I was ever hired to sing like for as a solo artist with a band and do like 3 sets. So I was hired in Port Credit Square there, Port Street Market, to sing for a whole weekend. And I was thinking, I've sung in shows before, but I've never done 3 solid hours of repertoire. So I was quite overwhelmed. And then Matt came over, I remember, with a couple of beers and pizza, and was like, don't worry about it. We're going to make a set list. We're going to play the gig together, and we're going to figure it out. So that was great. So he helped me put all these songs together. And then for sure we were singing different love songs for that
Oh yeah,
event.
for sure, 100%.
Yeah, so that was really a lovely thing that he has helped me with. And he came into my life right when I was ready to start, publishing some of my songs and taking my artistry up to a new level. So definitely he is so inspiring, and this man has so much perseverance and self-confidence. That is, he's got such an amazing spirit. He just always keeps going, and I'm more sensitive, and things will knock me out, and I'll need to kind of lick my wounds and carry on. But Matt is solid. if you were Elvis Presley right now or whoever, the Queen, he would have no problem singing for you and being like, why not? Of course I should. Like,
Matt, where does that come from? Where does that perseverance and confidence come from?
Recovering from a lot of failure. I'd say that's probably the best way. Is I spent, I mean, I've been performing since I was a kid. You know, I started playing music when I was, you know, 5 or 6 years old. So performing was never a thing. But as far as getting past it, I mean, I think that throughout my 20s, I was in an independent band touring around trying to, I guess, quote, make it. And after a while, you know, it's one of those things that you realize that there are some people who are going to get it and there's some people who won't. And it's like, well, do you believe in the value of what you're doing? And being able to get past all of the no's is just part of the business that most people don't tell you about until you're in it. So eventually I just said, well, I believe in what I'm doing and I think that I've got something good here. So, okay, let's do this.
yeah.
Heather, you've always impressed me of being the cheeriest person in the room, always the biggest smile, always this positive, unbelievable energy. Where does that come from?
Well, like you, I'm a Gemini, so if you go by horoscopes, we both are very gregarious people. So I love people and I love the different stories of people. And I love working with the community because I feel that I always listen to key things that people say that have helped them on their journey of life. So definitely throughout COVID, I missed that. I missed those personal interactions with people. I love to learn from the younger people that are younger than us, and I love the wisdom from the elders. So definitely, I just love to be with people, and that sparks a lot of my energy. So definitely, I feel blessed that I've been able to work with so many different people and have many people tell me personal things about their life and their life histories and different words of wisdom that I'm sure that later in my life, definitely I'm going to work and showcase the things I've learned. For sure, I always say I feel that I might work for CBC one day or something, and I feel that that will happen at a later point of my life because I think it's so important that we share different pieces of advice and wisdom that helps us. And I think that COVID's been hard because we haven't been able to be together the way the community normally is. So
Now, Matt said that he got started performing at a young age. What about you, Heather? When did you start performing?
Yes, I was very young. I was first professional theater show I was doing downtown Toronto at the Elgin Theater with Donny Osmond. I was singing in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. So, and I didn't know that I was singing with Matt's to one day to be sister-in-law. So one of the fellow children, we would grow up and marry brothers, but we didn't know that. But anyway, it was an amazing opportunity. I was singing downtown, doing shows professionally, and I definitely got the bug. And then a few years later, when I was only 15 years old, I was hired to sing and dance professionally at Canada's Wonderland in the main stage musical productions, and we were doing 5 shows a day. And I had the opportunity to perform with the amazing Nick Cordero, who, of course, unfortunately passed this past year due to COVID-19, but I was performing with an amazing cast of professional actors. And then in my teenage years, I was living in Calgary, performing for Stage West professionally and dancing in different movies with Jessica Alba and different things. So definitely my roots were in musical theater. And then as life has progressed, I found my voice really more as a solo musician and band leader and whatnot. So it's been a fun journey.
Matt, the song that you just played for us, the harmonies were wonderful. How does that fit with someone that was in a heavy metal band?
It's one of those things that I've always been a musician first before any specific genre, and there's all kinds of music that I like, from the hardest of hard to the softest of soft. While I was in that band, I had no time to pursue anything else as far as any other music endeavors because I was the principal writer, the band manager, the tour booker. It was my baby. When I ended that project in 2011, I wasn't actually sure which way I wanted to go, but I was doing a little bit of the open mic hosting, and some people who had seen me perform, it turned into all these other performances kind of in like the folk rock, rhythm and blues sort of area. And all the ideas of the last 10 years inspired my entire first record. So it was a very natural and organic progression. I just followed what felt right.
What's it like working, performing, writing, living, being married together?
Well, we both had parents that are entrepreneurs. I mean, my parents have retired, but they were entrepreneurs together. So both Matt and I saw modeled behavior of mom and dad being soulmates and entrepreneurs. So I think because we saw that, we definitely like kind of sought each other, and I feel like we know how that goes. So definitely I think that I try to keep on a good routine, and then there's times where we get away from each other and like have a break, and he has the lower floor of the house, that's his like man cave and his music studio where he does all his teaching.
That would be this place that we're currently in.
Yes. And then during the day, I'm upstairs. I have the top floor of the house. So that's where I'm teaching and I'm recording and doing my creative endeavors and working. So that works. But definitely it's intense. It's not for everybody. But we do like create and do shows and produce things together, and we're partners and lovers and all that stuff, so it's quite a lot. But I feel like it's, for me, there was nothing more attractive than a musician, so I had to have this man when I saw him.
So much so that I understand that you actually wrote and performed a love song at your wedding.
That's right. I did.
I didn't have a hand. Actually, this was a surprise to me. Heather wrote this song. Was it with Eddie?
With Eddie Ryder, yeah.
Yeah, we have a friend of our pianist who's a friend of ours who is actually Shawn Mendes's keyboardist now, who has done some writing with Heather, and they wrote this song together. And the first time that I heard it was at our wedding, where I proceeded to bawl my eyes out.
What's it called?
Blessed by You.
And are you going to play it for us?
Yeah,
We'd be
we're
happy to. No problem.
We'll do a little
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. Blessed by You.
Blessed by You. Do you know what you mean to me? Let me show you now, my love. Do you know how you have pulled me through? Boy, it is the truth, my love. I wanted to give up all that I knew. I wanted to give in, but then I met you. You opened up a door. Now life is new. Now I'm blessed by you. I'm blessed by you. You're the one that pulled me through. You raised me up and made me new. Now I'm blessed by you. I'm blessed by you. You're the one that held my heart. You're the one that lit the spark. Now I'm blessed by you. Every time that I see your face, boy, it gives me faith, my love, and everything that we're walking towards, there is purpose for, my love. I wanted to give up all that I knew. I wanted to give in, but then I met you. You opened up a door. Now life is new, and now I'm blessed by you. I'm blessed by you. You're the one that pulled me through. You raised me up and made me new. Now I'm blessed by you. I'm blessed by you. You're the one that held my heart. You're the one that lit the spark. Come take a walk with me. I will show you what I see. Baby, just flow with me. Now let's create a legacy. Come live your life with me. There's so much that we could be, living our destiny. It's all because of you. I'm blessed by you.
That was absolutely beautiful. I can imagine, Matt, that was pretty wonderful to hear that at your wedding.
Overwhelming is the word I would
Aw.
use.
Thank you.
And you guys, I understand, have a, special Valentine's Day concert online tomorrow.
Yes, it's the day before Valentine's. That's Saturday, February the 13th, and we're doing the show at 7 p.m. And it's a private show, so we encourage you to purchase a ticket and we will send you the Zoom link, and we most certainly appreciate your support. We encourage you to order in, make it a special dinner, put your feet up, and we're going to make it special for you.
Yeah, we made it on the 13th instead of the 14th because we realized that they were doing the Hazel 100 broadcast at 7:30. I said, well, I'm not getting in the way of that.
Which you guys are also participating in. Is that not correct?
We're also participating in. That's right.
So if people want to get the Zoom link for your special concert, how do they do that?
We have the invite up on Facebook. You can click on that, and there's the ticket link associated with that. If you
River North Duo
yeah,
is our.
yeah, and if you search River North on eventbrite.ca, the link will come up in a heartbeat.
Excellent. And what about the Hazel tribute on Sunday? Any idea how we get that?
Again, there's a Facebook invite that's going out. It's going to be broadcast on Facebook and on YouTube. If you go to anything related to the Mississauga Arts Council,
Yes.
The event is available there, and the link should be posted, as far as I know, on their Facebook page, in the event, and on YouTube.
So that's tomorrow night, Saturday. You can get the River North duo, Matt Zaddy and Heather Christine, with a special concert by going to their Facebook, River North, or Eventbrite, River North, and buy a ticket for a wonderful concert that'll hopefully have that song sung again. It better be, because that was just a beautiful, beautiful song. And then on Sunday, you can get the Mississauga Arts Council. You can just go to the Mississauga Arts Council Facebook and get a link to watch a free show with Hazel McCallion and 13 different performers that are going to be providing tributes to Hazel McCallion. You guys, you're fantastic. Thank you so much. If people want to get your music, how do they do that? I presume you're on Spotify?
Yeah, I mean, if you go to Spotify and you would search River North Duo, or if you go to rivernorthcanada.com, we've got all of our links there for all the streaming sites and our socials.
We're going to take a break and come back with some concluding comments with Heather Christine and Matt Zaddy, not Zadie, in just a minute. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour, Saga 960. We're chatting tonight, special Valentine's Day, sort of 2 days before, with Matt Zaddy and Heather Christine, River North duo, about their experience during COVID. And they played for us an incredible video that they've just released, and an incredible song they've just released about, what was it called again?
This Too Shall Pass.
This Too Shall Pass, a poem written by Heather Christine's mom and dad, and put to music by Heather and by Matt, and it was absolutely beautiful. And then we talked a little bit about their love affair and how they met and got together, and then a wonderful song that Heather wrote and performed for Matt at their wedding. It was just beautiful. But I understand you've also done a celebration for Canada's 150. Tell me about that.
Sure. Back in 2017, we were sitting around with two friends of ours, two fellow songwriters in the city, The Identity Crisis and Arlene Pekulin, and we started talking about, what it means for us to be Canadian, and we were talking about our own experiences in terms of Canada being a place where all nationalities are welcome and to celebrate both as Canadians and where they come from, and it very naturally formed into a song. We then put out a video for the song, and it started getting some attention from a not-for-profit in the city called Mississauga Music, who helped us arrange to perform it for City Council. And we did, and on the spot, the late Jim Tovey put forth a proposal to make it the official song from the official Canada 150 song for Mississauga.
And then Heather, you said you sang it for 20,000 people?
Yes, we were so blessed to open that day. Who do we open for, honey?
Oh, we opened for Kanon on
yeah.
the Celebration Square stage. So we were the first performers after all the intros on that day, and we played that song for
20,000 people.
Yeah, at the time there was 20,000 people there, so that was pretty.
Just a thrill. Yeah.
And what's it called? And you're going to play it for us now?
It's called "We Are the North," and this is the city of Mississauga's official Canada 150 song.
Here you go. We Are the North by these wonderful two performers, Matt Zaddy and Heather Christine, and a few other members. Stay with us.
heard the sound of hope and dreams uniting you and me. Underneath the same blue sky, our canvas is diversified. Shaking hands, changing minds, a future that is unified.
We are the North, we are the strong, we are together and we are free. We are the North, we are the strong, we come together, you and me.
No matter what you wear, the color of your hair, beneath the surface we know love's a common theme.
No matter where you're from, or if you're old or young, we got a place for you in our community. We know it's not a perfect road, we know that we've got far to go. Shaking hands, changing minds, a future that is unified. We are the North, we are the strong, we are together and we are free. We are the North, we are the strong, we come together, you and me. Look at all the faces, a palette of our races. The tapestry, you know where to find me.
Applewood, Port Credit, Lone Park, Meadowville, 5 and 10 Malton, Clarkson, Arundel, Streetsville, Cooksville, Glen Forest, Square One, Fieldgate, Woodland, show the world that was done. Shout out to Bonnie Crombie, Ill Scarlet, Party Next Door, Don Cherry, Billy Talent, Mike Bullitt, Oscar Peterson, Santino, Rich Kid, Strombo, can't forget Hazel McCallion.
We are the North, we are the strong, we are together and we are free. We are the North, we are the strong, we come together, you and me.
I was just saying, I love to hear that song because it's such a positive affirmation. Like, even through what we're going through now, like, we are the North, we are together, we are the strong, we are free. Like, just to hear that, it's like, oh, it's just like, it's so
You
touching.
guys are fantastic. Who are the two other people performing with you?
Oh, that's the wonderfully talented Arlene Pakulin, who is a multi-award winning artist here from the city of Mississauga. And we also have The Identity Crisis, who's a sought-after performer, MC, producer. He shot that video, did the beats for that song. Very, very talented people.
And tomorrow night, you guys have got a concert. And what do? You go to River North on Facebook and you can sign up. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's right. Yeah. If you go to the Facebook invite, there's a link there for the ticket. Or if you go to eventbrite.ca and search River North, we will come up in a heartbeat.
What time is it?
The show's at 7 p.m. and it's going to be a mix of Valentine's appropriate music, some of Heather's songs, some of our favorite tunes. Just it's going to be fun.
How long?
1 hour.
Fantastic. And then Sunday, 7:30 as well, a tribute to Hazel McCallion. And you can go to Mississauga Arts Council on Facebook and get the link for that. Matt, Zaddy, Heather, Christine, happy Valentine's Day.
Thanks.
Happy
And
Valentine's
to you
Day,
as well.
Brian.
Thank
Wishing you a great one.
And happy Valentine's Day to all of you out there. I really appreciate you joining me every Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock on the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960. Good night, everybody.